Did you know that there are pronouns in English that have been lost? They were in common usage for a long time and we no longer use them. You're crossing your head thinking, what were they? You know what they are. Thou and thee. Actually pronounced thou and thee if you want to be pedantic about it. But we say thou and thee. You'll find it in your King James version of the Bible, and you'll find it in Jacobean English, Elizabethan English, chiefly in the likes of Shakespeare. But we lost those pronouns. They were the singular version of you. You was the plural. How did we lose it? Well, try and be as brief as I can. English was like French is now, where you used the plural, you, in formal situations and for your superiors. You used thou and thee for those who are familiar with you, your family and friends, and those beneath your station. The same way that's used in French now, tu and vous. If you know French, that's how it works. Problem was that in English culture in Elizabethan times, you could start using thou and thee as an insult. Someone was above your station and you used it. You were being too familiar with them. This wasn't polite, this was insulting. And because people were starting to use it more as an insult, people then didn't like to use it in case they got it wrong. What if I use it the wrong way and I insult somebody? It's better just to stick with the formal you. And so, thou and thee, or thou and thee, died out. You might still find little pockets in Yorkshire where they say to people who are known to them, is the going to pub? Forgive my Yorkshire accent, but they can be used that way. It's lost. It's gone. And for a long time, for centuries, it was there. It happens. Language change happens. These things can be filtered out by the very people just deciding not to use it. And so we have this whole thing now about pronouns where people said we shouldn't use he or she, we should use they. We use singular they all the time. It exists. You know yourself. I went to meet David, but they weren't there when I got there. Used all the time, a singular they. You use it certainly when you aren't sure of the gender. And when I'm driving, I will see a car driving aggressively through traffic and I'll say to my wife, what hurry is he in? He's not going to get anywhere faster. And I presume it's a man. I then get up alongside the car and I see it's actually a woman. I got that wrong. I'm deciding now when I'm driving in my car, if I make a comment about a driver, I'll say they. They're driving a bit fast, aren't they? It's just more convenient, easier, less confusing. It's perfectly possible that we will find using he or she might invite an insult to somebody, even though they're in a very small minority. Out of respect to that minority, we just don't want to use he or she. We'll use they more. And singular they becomes popular, and he and she drop out of use like thou and thee. It's possible. A language change isn't always predictable. As linguists, we don't get it right every time, but we can make predictions, and sometimes they do happen. We can see changes coming. And this is one that might happen. They might find in a few generations, children in school being told when they're reading old stories, old novels, they will see the old he and she pronouns. Not to worry about it, because that was just what they used back then, but it's no longer in use. And then we'll have the same problem of a singular they and plural they, and a confusion, and some people having to invent a plural one like theys or these, distinguish it from the singular, in the same way that in Northern Ireland we say yous to distinguish that from the singular you. And in some parts of the United States they say y'all. Humans do that. We compensate for the loss of something. This might happen. And if in your lifetime you notice it happening, don't rail against it. It happens. Language change can't be stopped in the same way you can't stop the tide. Live with it. Follow me for more.